The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. Death smiles at us all. All we can do, I smiled back. The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best. Mastery of reading and writing requires a master. Still more so, life. Your days are numbered. Use them to throw open the windows of your soul to the sun. If you do not, the sun will soon set, and you with it. Whatever happens at all, happens as it should. You will find this true if you watch narrowly. Learn to be indifferent to what makes no difference. Small-minded people blame others. Average people blame themselves. The wise see all blame as foolishness. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. What we do now echoes an eternity. Be silent for the most part, or if you speak, say only what is necessary in a few words. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. It is our attitude toward events, not events themselves, which we can control. Nothing is by its own nature calamitous. Even death is terrible only if we fear it. Man conquers the world by conquering himself. The things you think about determine the quality of your mind. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it, that matters. Reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. Wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. Our life is what our thoughts make it. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. The whole future lies in uncertainty. Live immediately. The life we receive is not short, but we make it so. We are not ill-provided, but use what we have wastefully. Nature hath given men one tongue, but 2 ears, that we may hear from others twice as much as we speak. A person's worth is measured by the worth of what he values. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. No great thing is created suddenly any more than a bunch of grapes or fig. If you tell me that you desire a fig, I answer that there must be time. Let it first blossom, then bear fruit, then ripen. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself in your way of thinking. Freedom is secured if not by the fulfilling of men's desires, but by the removal of desire. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. Do every act of your life as though it were the very last act of your life. Humans have come into being for the sake of each other, so either teach them or learn to bear them. Receive without conceit, release without struggle. No man can escape his destiny, the next inquiry being how he may best live the time that he has to live. Life, if well lived this long enough. To wish to be well is a part of becoming well. Difficulty shows what men are. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. It can ruin your life only if it ruins your character. Otherwise it cannot harm you inside or out. No man is free who is not a master of himself. Stay calm and serene, regardless of what life throws at you. The first rule is to keep an untroubled spirit. The second is to look things in the face and know them for what they are. Be like the cliff against which the waves continually break, but it stands firm and temes the fury of the water around it. How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? It's time you realize that you have something in you more powerful and miraculous than the things that affect you and make you dance like a puppet. Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Because the thing seems difficult for you, do not think it impossible for anyone to accomplish. Every new beginning comes from some other beginnings. And if you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to what others think, you will never be rich. Confine yourself to the present. Life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present and fear the future. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Difficulty. Strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time. People are frugal in guarding their personal property, but as soon as it comes to squandering time, they are most wasteful of one thing, in which it is right to be stingy. He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary. When you will rise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Sometimes even to live is an act of courage. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Here is a rule to remember in future. When anything tempts you to feel bitter, not, "This is misfortune," but to bear this worthily is good fortune. If what you have seems insufficient to you, then, though you possess the world, you will yet be miserable. He who has injured thee was either stronger or weaker than thee. If weaker, spare him. If stronger, spare thyself. We suffered not from the events in our lives, but from our judgment about them. No man was ever wise by chance. It is a rough road that leads to the heights of greatness. As is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach. A wise man is content with his lot, whatever it may be, without wishing for what he has not. If you really want to escape the things that harass you, what you're needing is not to be in a different place, but to be a different person. He who was brave is free. Whatever can happen at any time can happen today. We live only now. Everything else is either past or is unknown. Until we have begun to go without them, we fail to realize how unnecessary many things are. We've been using them not because we needed them, but because we had them. If a man knows not which port he sails, no wind is favorable. It's not that we have little time, but more that we waste a good deal of it. He is the most powerful, who has power over himself. But life is very short and anxious for those who forget the past, neglect the present and fear the future. All cruelty springs from weakness. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Respect the past, be open to the future. No person has the power to have everything they want, but it is in their power not to want what they don't have, and to cheerfully put to good use what they do have. If evil be said of thee, and if it be true, correct thyself. If it is a lie, laugh at it. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who creeps more, that is poor. To be everywhere is to be nowhere. Attach yourself to what is spiritually superior, regardless of what other people think or do, all to your true aspirations, no matter what is going on around you. While we wait for life, life passes. The best answer to anger is silence. Agreed. But nature set a limit on that, as it did on eating and drinking. Anger, if not restrained, is frequently more hurtful to us than the injury that provokes it. He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a man who was alive. Progress is not achieved by luck or accident, but by working on yourself daily.